Hello, Rise Builders. So I want to discuss this topic of, not working, quitting 9 to 5. I've been seeing a lot of different titles out here, and it's been like a little confusing and disturbing to me, and maybe I'm interpreting it the wrong way. So I really want you guys to drop me some comments and school me on this topic, because I could be way in left field and not understanding the logic behind this. I'm seeing titles like "I quit my job due to burnout," "Quitting with no backup plan," "Quit your day job, live out your dreams," "Why God is not letting you get a job," "Why you should stop working so hard," and the list goes on and on and on. And again, maybe I'm not understanding this because I have not received a memo that I shouldn't work. So I could be on the wrong path. And I like to say that I try my best to live my life biblically, based off of biblical principles. Now, I'm not perfect. I have flaws. I stray off the path, and have to get back on. I get sidetracked, distractions, that type of thing. And I am not a philosopher. This is, I'm learning. I'm learning daily. But I was reading in 2 Thessalonians, the 3rd chapter. And sometimes people like to just pick out one verse, but I like to read before the verse and kind of get a full understanding. So I'm going to start with 2 Thessalonians chapter 3, verse 5, and it reads as, "Now may the Lord direct your hearts into the love of God and into the patience of Christ. But we command you, brethren, in the name of our Lord Jesus Christ, that you withdraw from every brother who walks disorderly and not according to the tradition which he received from us. For yourselves know how you ought to follow us, for we were not disorderly among you, nor did we eat anyone's bread free of charge, but we worked with labor and toiled night and day, that we might not be a burden to anyone, to any of you, not because we do not have authority, but to make ourselves an example of how you should follow us. For even when we were with you, we commanded you this: if anyone will not work, neither shall he eat." So that, my interpretation of that is, I should be laboring. I should be working for my daily needs. In order to have my necessities for myself, my family, my household, there needs to be some work occurring. But if we look today, it's a lot of, talk about not working, and it's gonna come and it's gonna happen, and dream big. And I am a big on dreaming big. I'm all for it. I'm all for, you need to try this, try that. Step outside of your comfort zone. I am all about that. I am all about working going into your God-given talents and gifts, nurturing those and pursuing those things. I am all about that. So I don't want anyone to think that I don't want you to dream big and to go after your dreams. I am full game. I am all about that. But I just think that there's a move, there's a shift going on, that people are getting away from working, and especially hard work. Everything now we are hearing is easy this, easy that, easy flow. And I feel so uncomfortable with that, because we got to think about the legacy, and we got to think about our children's coming up behind us. And we got to make sure they have that foundation and that work ethics. Because I think back to my grandmother, seeing her work. My grandmother had a property that you could fit 2 nice size homes on it, and we had a family garden, so all of us could eat from that. And my grandmother never went to college. She didn't finish school, but she had siblings that she allowed to come live with her while they went to school. They're all educated, my mom was educated, so she started that family line, but she showed us we gotta work. And she went into a factory and stood up all day long. No air, no heat. And I'm not saying you have to do that. I'm not saying that, because we have unlimited resources at our fingertips. They didn't have all this technology that we have today. They didn't have that. They didn't have access to universities and schools like we do now. They could go to school, but it was a lot of segregation, and a lot was happening in their days. And we have things happening in our days as well, but we don't have it nowhere near like them. Nowhere near like them. But I just really want to talk about this because it can easily go into laziness. I was looking at someone's video and they were saying, I lost my job and I haven't worked in over a year and a half, and God is making a way. And God, he does provide. He has provisions for us. But it just makes me wonder, what are you doing with your time? What else are you doing? And I want to hear from you guys in the comments. Here are some talking points. Personal responsibility. The Bible teaches that everyone has a duty to work diligently and provide themselves and provide for themselves and their families. Laziness or idleness goes against God's design for stewardship. We should be working. I'm not saying you have to work hard to the bone that you can't function. No, but you need to go and do a day's worth of work. Because if you don't work, how are you going to pay for your mortgage, your rent, your car note? How is all of that going to fall in place? I need to know. And not only know, I want someone to show me, okay, I didn't work for a whole year, but this is what my revenue, this is what I grossed. This is what came into me. And I lived well. I was okay. I was comfortable. Because I do, a lot of us have gotten accustomed to living a certain type of way. I'm just being honest, y'all. This is real talk. Community contributions. Hard work allows individuals to be active participants in the community, ensuring resources are shared equitably, and no one is overburdened by others' irresponsibility. So there should be a share. We should be in the community helping each other out. Mothers and fathers, single parents, single fathers. If you see there's a need in someone's home, show up with some grocery. Offer some services of babysitting. Help somebody update their resume. Offer to help them with the skill set. But you just should not just be sitting there twiddling your fingers saying, okay, woe is me, woe is me. What are you doing? There's some accountability on your end as well. We have to be so careful that we're not sending the wrong message to our children, and then when they get of age, you're upset because they're not going to work. They're not bringing in any money. God's blessings on work. Work is a God-ordained means for provision and growth. By embracing diligence, individuals honors God and reflect his character in their efforts. That's God's blessing that we work. It's God's blessing that we work. God worked. And people like, God worked. He worked. Yes, he was. He was working discipleship. He was ministry. He was in ministry. He was busy creating the heavens and the earth. He was doing miracle working business. He was parting the Red Sea so people could walk over. He was healing. You remember the woman with the issue of blood, and she touched his garment, healed immediately. God, he was just busy about his Father's business. And let's not forget, he went to the cross. He burdened our sins. Yeah, working. That's the kind of work he was doing. He was working. Assess your efforts. Regularly evaluate your work ethics and commitment to responsibilities to ensure you are contributing meaningfully. You got to evaluate yourself. I have to always, I got to earn my seat at work. They just not going to give it to me. And before some of you say, oh, well, they'll just put you out the door. They can at any time. Anytime they'll put you out the door. I talked about how our company just went through a layoff, a big layoff. It can happen. But God will give us an unction and say, okay, you need to start preparing. You need to start preparing. You see the writing on the walls. Are you saving? Are you just out there spending frivolously? Are you just spending your money on crazy stuff? Are you putting anything to the side for a rainy day? Because a rainy day will come. A rainy day will come. So what are you doing while you're bringing in this income? What are you doing with it? We all know we need to have 6 months to a year of a nest egg set to the side. We've been doing this. This isn't anything new. And then when it happens, we looking crazy. We have to take responsibility. We don't like that word, but we do. Set goals and stay productive. Create specific measurable goals to focus on meaningful work, whether at your job, in ministry, or serving your community. What can you do to help others? What can you do to help yourself? Encourage others to work. Motivate those around you to take personal responsibility and help them see the value of hard work in achieving their goals. You might have some cousins sitting around all day not doing anything, some brothers, sisters, siblings, or whoever it may be, friends, all day long. What are you doing? An idle mind is the devil's workshop. If you sitting home and you're not doing anything all day other than gaming, you're playing games all day, how are you going to take care of your necessities? You shouldn't be on your mom, your dad, and just sitting on the couch all day doing nothing with yourself. Go enroll in class. Go to school. Find a trade. School isn't for everyone. Find a trade. You gotta figure out how to take care of yourself, because God forbid your mom or dad closes their eyes permanently. What would you do? How would you pay your bills? Do you even know how to pay an insurance bill? How to pay an electric bill? Do you know the steps for banking? What do you know? Support those in genuine need. Distinguish between those who are unable to work due to circumstances and those who are idle by choice, offering help accordingly. I'm going to help anybody that is in a true need. You've lost your job and you don't have groceries, you better believe I'm going to show up with a card, a Walmart card, a Target card, a gas card, something that it's something I can do. It's something everybody can do around us to support people. Widows in the church, you may have lost the income. A husband passed away, a wife passed away, and you know this person is struggling and you don't do anything to help them. The shoe could be on the other foot. But then you got friends who home gaming all day, but they can find a way to cook crab legs on the weekend or during the weekday, and they just having a good old time while you at work. But you're gonna take your hard-earned money and give it to them? No, I challenge you to change that behavior, because now you're crutching people. You are crutching people. Reflect on biblical teachings. Incorporate scriptures into your daily life to guide your attitude toward work and responsibilities, such as Proverbs 12:11. Those who work their land will have abundant food. I'm going to read that one more time. Those who work their land will have abundant food. Meaning, as you work, God is going to provide that you will have the necessities. Your food, your electric bill is going to be taken care of. Y'all, it's cold outside. I don't know about y'all, but I don't like being cold. I like being in the comfort of my home, warm and fuzzy and cozy. Yes, that's how I like it. That's how I like it. Yes, all warm and cozy. Yeah, I like that. I don't want to be out there, naked and afraid, cold. I don't know what I'm going to do, shivering. I don't want to see people out there with their kids, cold, no shoes, no blankets, no anything. And it's just so important that we just don't get sidetracked by all these schemes and all this stuff we're seeing on Instagram, on YouTube, on TikTok, and we just start following these people. We're listening. we're listening what they're saying, and we're seeing, and we're just going by what they show us. Y'all, we better start being guided by our spiritual eyes and our spiritual ears. And we better stay linked up to the vine, which is the word of God, because he is not going to direct us in the wrong path. Now, I'm not saying people didn't hear to go do this or do that, but all of this, God told me to quit my job. God, you better know that you know that you know that God told you to quit your job, not what somebody else did. Stop following what everybody else doing. Some of these things are trends, and it can have a severe impact. It's one thing if you're the only person in your home, but you got kids in your house and you're talking about you're going to quit and you're going to just wing it, and your baby needs food, your baby needs to be in activities, your baby want to eat, your baby want to do this or that, and you can't do it because you decide to quit your job. That is so irresponsible, in my opinion. We're all entitled to our own opinions, but you got to figure out how this is going to impact you down the line. Sir, you heard somebody out here talking about you can make excess amount of money, dollars, but all you need is to come up with $10,000. You and your wife have saved for years. You have this nest egg, and you go and take your nest egg and you give it to these people, and now they're nowhere to be found. We got to be careful. We got to be careful. Somebody told you, oh, they got a word from God and you need to quit. They're telling you need to go do this full time. Try the spirit by the spirit. That's what I'm going to say to you. Try the spirit by the spirit. Take that back to God. See what God says about that. Don't go by what people telling you to do. Let's be logic. Let's use our common sense. Sometimes we don't use common sense. I've been there. I done made bad decisions going off of what I heard and what I saw. What I heard and what I saw. And in the end, it wasn't what it was. What was presented to me. It wasn't that. It was not that. What I say to that is, it's just, we just have to really be careful of what we follow behind. Follow Jesus. Follow Jesus. I'm going to always direct you back to God. That's my job. I'm going to direct you back to him because I don't know. I'm trying to figure out my own life. I go to Jesus all the time. He like, here she come again. Here she come again. But that's his role, because I can't do it on my own. You can't do it on your own. So before you make any kind of, hasty decision about your means, your income, go to God. Go to God. He's not going to mislead you. He's not going to give you a bunch of huff and buff words and all that kind of stuff. He's going to give you plain instructions. Now, he may confirm it through somebody else, but he's going to talk to you first. He's going to talk to you first. So seek him out. Seek him out. I want to hear from you guys in the comments. I'm really, like I said, this has been kind of troubling me that I keep seeing all these videos about, quitting and doing this and following all these different paths when the word tells us that we have to work. And again, I'm not saying we can't be more efficient and more productive by working in a different pattern than what our forefathers did, because again, they didn't have everything we do. But let's just be mindful and let's be careful of who we follow. Even me, you don't know me. That's why I tell you, take everything back to God. Take everything back to God. So guys, I hope that what I said makes sense, and and until next time, continue to grow and glow in the Lord.